Hello, Blaine here. It's been a while since there were any new releases of this podcast, and I want to explain why that is. In my day job, I'm a teacher. That comes with students writing my name through Google to see what they could find about me. I'm not worried about that. I'm old enough and conservative enough that they aren't going to find evidence of me doing anything that might jeopardize my employment or just generally embarrass me. I'm also not attractive enough to have to contend with the student stalkers that some of my female colleagues have to deal with, but that's a subject for an entirely different podcast. In any event, that's relevant because of what my students found in March. Someone has uploaded audio that I recorded for LibriVox to a website selling audiobooks. Now, LibriVox warns its users that this happens, and there is really nothing they can do to stop it. That's part of the LibriVox life. However, whoever did this has followed through to this podcast and is selling content that I did not choose to share on LibriVox. In fact, one of these recordings showed up in the top 10 sellers on that website. Now, I didn't start this podcast to make money, but it does bother me when someone simply takes my work and sells it without even talking to me. I feel that if someone is selling it, then I am entitled to a cut. Beyond that, they at least need to do me the courtesy of speaking to me about it in advance to get my permission. That did not happen. I tried reporting the issue to the website while at work, and the website gave me an error in the feedback, claiming that submitting information through the website had been blocked by my network administrator. I didn't believe that, but I could no longer access the form at work. When I got home, I first used the feedback form to report an audio glitch that had slipped past me in editing, and the form worked perfectly. When I tried reporting the stolen content, I got the same error. This tells me that the error is not an error, but a filtering system designed to give them plausible deniability when they sell stolen content. Clearly, this website, housed overseas, has no intentions of screening its content. This experience has left a very sour taste in my mouth. I have not yet decided if I will ever return to this podcast, as much as I love doing it, because of this experience. I don't plan to stop my other active podcasts, so you can still hear me elsewhere. The oldest of my 3 active podcasts is Old Time Radio at Bureau 42, where I release public domain radio shows without commentary or editing of any kind. The second oldest active podcast I have is 99 Years 100 Films, in which Trey Hooks and I take a monthly look at the Best Picture Academy Award-winning film. This comes out on the 28th of each month. Going chronologically, our next release is going to cover Terms of Endearment from 1983. My newest podcast is Babylon 5 30 Years Later, in which John M. Wilson and I look at each episode, movie, comic, or tie-in novel for Babylon 5. If it is broadcast content, then we cover it 30 years after the original release in most cases. We make exceptions for the pilot movie and the direct-to-video releases that came after Crusade, so we don't have months of dead air. We have some bonus content in there too. That will be near the end of Season 1 when this podcast drops, and it is very carefully designed to be spoiler-free and safe for first-time viewers, because John is a first-time viewer. If you have any questions or feedback, you can always send them to me at bureau42podcasts@gmail.com. Thank you for listening through all of these years.